Welcome to Theme Weavers, your weekly wisdom for weaving yoga themes into your classes to inspire your students. We're your hosts, Heidi
and Farron.
Welcome to today's episode of Theme Weavers, where Farron and I will start to explore the chakra system. For a little roadmap, our next 8 episodes, including today, will take us on a journey through the chakras and subtle body energy work. Hang on, Farron, I say chakra, but I've heard people say chakra. What do you say?
I say the people who say chakra are wrong.
Boom!
Okay.
Tell us how you really feel. Okay, linguistics. Let's hear it.
It is chakra with a hard C, like you're saying cha-cha-cha. It's chakra because in Sanskrit, that is how it is written. It's a hard cha.
Well, I'm glad I asked you because you are the expert on all things. All right, so now we know, everybody, it's a chakra, like a choo-choo train, not a chakra like a shoelace. Okay. If you aren't familiar with the chakras and why many yogis enjoy learning and exploring them, or you want to learn about how to weave these teachings through the classes that you teach, then listen up. And in case this is the first episode you're listening to, we always say please check out episode 2 of the Theme Weavers podcast for details and background on the structure of how and why to weave themes through your yoga classes. But I also want to say, like, in case you've never listened, I'm Heidi Kasner, and my co-host over here, who is the linguistics expert, is
Farron Martinez, since we're giving last names, apparently.
I don't know. I just feel like sometimes
hello.
I don't know, like when I listen to other people's podcasts, they're always like, hey, it's your host, blah, blah, blah. And we never say that. So we just assume that we are known. I mean, we are pretty big
I think
deal.
it's in our intro.
What do you mean? Oh, the one that you play
intro.
with like do each time?
Yeah, every time.
Oh. You're right.
But it's okay.
Like,
let us
reintroduce
ourselves because we are now in season 2. So if you're going back to episode 2, that means you're going back to season 1.
Oh my God, 2 seasons.
Episode 2.
I like the Farron's like jiggling her chin on her hand. I don't know what that is, but it's kind of amazing.
I don't know what that is either.
Kind of digging it. I'm going to do it from now on. Walk around like that. Anyway, if you choose to use today's teaching on the chakras as your theme while using the gift of our beautiful inspo sheets, and in case you don't know, inspo is short for inspiration. They are inspirational sheets. Then please find a way to turn our voices into yours. Make this theme authentic to you specifically. Speaking of our inspo sheets, a few teachers have let us know that you don't know how to access them. When I was at Yoga Reaches Out, which went really well, in case you're wondering, a few people did come up to me and said, I really enjoy your podcast. Nice to meet you. I know you're always talking about those inspo sheets, but I don't know what you're talking about. So at the end of each episode, we say the link to find the specific reference sheet that like aligns with that specific episode. But if you don't hear it, or you're driving or you're walking or something and you can't get to it right away, you can always scroll through our short episode description on Spotify or wherever you listen to this amazing podcast that you're listening to. And the link is listed there in the show notes. So we create and work pretty hard on these beautiful sheets to help you with your inspiration on the theme of the week. Also, if you enjoy Theme Weavers and the content we've been sharing, please leave us a review wherever you listen to your podcast. Follow our show. Like, don't just listen to it, but click the follow thing. And also find us on Instagram to keep up to date with some fun reels and posts that we share. We are so grateful for how quickly Theme Weavers is growing, and that is because of each one of you. We're so grateful, and the more you share and interact, the more energy and excitement that it sends to us.
Big thank yous to especially all of our YTT students who are like, oh yeah, I listen to your podcast. I love that. Thank you. And hi.
Wow, that was so radio voice for you. I love that. And thank you. And hi. I actually upgraded my microphone, everybody. So if you're noticing a difference over the last 2 episodes, let me know because I'm now in the closet. Now that I know that people actually listen to us, my husband said I sound horrible and told me to go to the closet because that's where I belong, apparently.
I also am using a different mic, so we'll see how this one works out.
Ooh, I'm excited.
But also I want to back up just a tiny, tiny bit to accessing the inspo sheets because yes, you go to the link and then that link takes you to a web page, but you have to scroll down about halfway through that web page and then there's a little box that's like, if you want the inspo sheet for this episode, put your email in here, and then that's how you get it. It's directly to your inbox.
Yeah, great point, because it somehow magically appears, and that's good that they know how to magically make it appear.
Yeah.
One day we're going to write a book, if you didn't know that. Right, Farron?
Yes. We're writing a book with all these themes in it. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, and these inspo sheets will be like part of the inspiration for said book. We're basically a big deal.
We're trying to be.
Are you a big deal?
We're almost there.
I mean, I'm super humble, and so are you. So,
Heidi, you're like a way bigger deal than me, by the way.
What are you talking about?
You were like a lead teacher at Yoga Reaches Out. You have a yoga retreat that you're planning. It's coming up soon. All the details are being released soon. Like you're doing all these amazing things. You're famous.
I also just graduated a group of teacher trainees on my own. It was very exciting. It's fun. I don't know that I'm famous, but I'm having a really good time. I feel like I'm living in my dharma. It's really exciting. And this is a part of it because of you. You're part of my dharma.
Aww.
Did you know that? It's like a dharma +1.
I'd love to be your +1 anywhere.
You're my carry-on bag on my dharma plane.
Let's go. I'm here for it. All right. But let's jump in to this chakra system. Let's get to the point.
Let's do it.
With our Dharma talk, we would give it at the start of our yoga class. So if we're giving a class about the entire chakra system, not just like piece by piece, which we are going to do in separate episodes. But for now, this is like the whole thing, the whole shebang. I want to take a few moments to dive into the teachings of the chakra system and how we may come to explore it in the yoga practices. The chakras are energy centers within the subtle body, which is the energy body where energy flows.
I always get so confused, by the way, when people say that. They're like, we're going to do subtle body work. I'm like, my body is not very subtle. I do everything in very non-subtle ways.
Yeah, because it's not like your outer shell body. It's like the energy within your body. It's like a whole separate, like not tangible.
It's not the aura. It's not the aura.
Yeah, but it's like
you ever had one of those pictures taken?
No, I haven't. Picture? I want to.
I'm kind of curious, and part of me also feels like it might be a scam.
Do you think auras are woo-woo?
No, I just don't know that those photos are legit.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I don't know. How does anybody know? How would that camera tell me? What's the technology that allows that camera to see the colors of your aura?
You're right. I've never thought about that before.
It just confuses me. It kind of reminds me of like a very mildly developed Polaroid picture. You didn't shake enough. You didn't shake it.
You're gonna have an aura photographer coming for you right now.
I'd love to. Aura. If you're an aura photographer or somebody that really enjoys having your aura photographed, please let me know how they work, because I know nothing about them, but I am very curious.
Yeah.
I'm not a total skeptic. I'm just not knowledgeable.
All right. These centers, these chakras, are believed to be interconnected and aligned along the spine, each corresponding to different aspects of our physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being. Yogis believe that balancing the chakras is essential for mental and physical health. And when energy becomes blocked in a chakra, it can trigger physical, mental, or emotional imbalance, which can cause physical and emotional symptoms. Yoga is one of the most basic ways to balance each chakra because it creates alignment in the physical body. Balancing and stabilizing the physical body through asana, yoga postures, also rebalances the subtle body, which realigns the chakras. This makes it easier to overcome outdated patterns, beliefs, and habits. Chakras have played a role in Eastern traditions for centuries, and people all over the world believe in the power of positive energy flow and balance. The Sanskrit word chakra can be translated as disc, and most practicing Eastern traditions think of these as whirling wheels of light located throughout the body. Side note, though, I was recently taught that it's not just like a wheel that's like spinning in one direction, but it's actually like more of like a sphere that's like rotating. We're like waving our hands around okay, have you ever seen like those machines that like the gyration machines that you get in when you're trying to be like an astronaut or something, and like you get in them and they like spin you all around? You haven't seen that? Okay.
I did not know where you were going.
Yes.
Do you remember those toys from like the 1980s, 90s? Okay, maybe 90s, where like there are a few of them. They'd have like a black base and then they'd have like silver things. And some of them had like a TikTok thing and the things never stopped moving side to side. And one was these like circles, like inside of circles. And you'd like go like this with your finger, like you'd spin it and they'd all spin in different directions. Do you
Yeah.
remember
Aren't those
those?
like weird like things that people would have on their desks in their offices?
Yeah, it's like a physics thing, I think, also known what we would now call as a fidget toy, I believe.
These
These are
are
like
grown
old
up
school
fidgets.
grown up fidgets from the 90s
Love
before
it.
fidgets were a thing. Those remind me of like the chakras, where it's like the orbiting layers of circles that are just like whirling and whirling and whirling and whirling and moving.
Yeah. So I don't know. Instead of picturing like a bicycle wheel spinning in one way, it's more like a orb. Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
point I'm trying to get across.
So
Okay.
not a bike wheel. Got it.
Not a bike wheel. All right. There are 7 chakras situated along the spine from its base to the crown of the head. It is taught that they each vibrate at their own frequency and respond to a specific light wave, which presents itself as a color. Because every chakra is located in a place where there are bundles of nerves and major organs, they are in prime positions of energy where consciousness and matter intertwine.
I always, by the way, Farron, wish that there were 8 chakras because
Why?
because I like things to be symmetrical, and odd numbers never feel that symmetrical to me. I like even
Like,
numbers.
I understand that and I understand like the symmetry, but like when thinking about the chakras, I like that there are 7 because the heart chakra is like the center. And so then
Yeah,
it's
that's true. Then
symmetrical
there'd
on
be
either
9.
side of them because there's 3 on the top and 3 on the bottom. So like to me that's still
Okay,
symmetrical.
okay. I'm with you. I'm with you because it is the bridge, and if you had 8 chakras, then where would the bridge be? You can't have a double bridge. This isn't Crazy Pat Town. Like you needed. Yeah. Okay. You've convinced me. I now like how it is.
Okay.
Way better.
Okay,
I'm
I'm glad.
happy with the number 7 now. You've changed my life.
Wow. Revelations right here.
Boom.
Cool.
Life changer.
Sweet. So when your chakras are blocked or unbalanced, it can lead to illness or emotional instability. You will feel the healthiest inside and out when you keep your chakras open. But I also want to add here that it's not just about them being blocked, but they can also be overactive. So it's finding the balance between those two.
Yes. Have you taken those chakra quizzes before?
I don't think so.
I wrote a little ebook. I think I've showed you. It's about the chakras, and it was a course that I did in person around my dining room table. It was lovely fun. And we'd go through like sort of what we're doing today, where like we're on the overview now, and then each time we met, it was a different chakra. And it was like the coolest course. I should probably turn it into an online course since it's like done and already out there. That would be really intelligent. So that way everybody anywhere could take it because it's quite good, if I may say so.
Do it. Put it out.
Done. Throw it. Throw it. Oh no, I learned at teacher training by like the cool hip kids that are younger than me. You don't say that anymore. You say send it.
I've never heard throw it in my life. I've always said send it. So
I've never said either, actually.
I guess
but
I'm a young buck or something.
You're please, you're like a baby compared to me.
We're 5 years apart.
I think it's 6. How old are you?
36.
Oh no, it's 5. Okay. It's an odd number. We're an odd number apart. Anyway, in my chakra course, each time we get into a different chakra, we like learn a little bit, and then there's like a little quiz, and it helps you see if you're like balanced, overactive, or underactive, and then I gave tools and stuff to help you balance it out. If you needed more, you needed less. If you want to keep it right, different things you can do. It's a really nice book.
You need to publish it. It needs to go out there.
I mean,
just as an ebook. You don't even have to make a course. Throw it out as an ebook.
I don't know how to do that.
Ooh, I can help you. I've done that.
Ooh, girl. Send it.
But speaking of like chakra quizzes, I don't think they're necessarily quizzes, but there's a book called Eastern Body, Western Mind. And each chapter is about a different chakra. And I don't know if there was like a quiz, but there was definitely like an overview of like it still would help you decide if you had like a blocked chakra or an overactive one or imbalanced one.
I like that book because it also combines it with modern psychology. And as a social worker and psych student, like that really interests me how these, the East and the West combine, but the way that they did it, and that's or she, it's an author, I believe. It's like kind of a textbook. I think I've actually never read it cover to cover, but I use it as like a resource.
I have. Anadea Judith, that's the author. We'll put it in the show notes. The key to keeping your chakras open is awareness. You can achieve this through meditation, yoga, or visualization. Starting your day off with some simple affirmations or where you focus on the location and color of each chakra is an easy and effective way to begin the journey toward balance. So, why should we learn about the chakras? Well, imagine your body as a finely tuned instrument and the chakras as the strings that must be in harmony for the music of life to flow effortlessly.
Do you like
learning
that
about the
analogy?
chakras? I love it. I love that analogy.
It's a Heidi thing.
I want to be harmonious.
So
learning about the chakras enables us to tune into these energy centers, fostering self-awareness and facilitating personal growth. Now let's bring this ancient wisdom into our modern lives, where exploring the chakra system can help address a lot of our everyday experiences and stressors. By cultivating awareness of our energy centers, we can identify areas of imbalance and work toward restoring equilibrium. We will get into these more specifically in the weeks to come, but for now, it's just really exciting to realize that we have another tool to help us tap into any imbalances that might be impacting our life without us even realizing it.
Can I give an example of that? At teacher training, the week that I was teaching the content block on the chakras, we did the quizzes from my book, and then I did a guided meditation for them. And one of the people that was in my training, I love her to pieces. I mean, I love them all, but love her to pieces. She really, when she came to my classes for the first time, she actually said she hates yoga, but she like loves learning yoga with me. And then at the graduation this past weekend, when we were at a celebration dinner, I'm like, so do you like still hate yoga? And she's like, no, I love yoga. I'm like, yay. And she said that when we did the chakra meditation, all of a sudden she realized like she has no roots. She had no idea that she had no roots and that she was not actually grounded or settled in anything. And so she decided to stop dreaming. And they're moving their whole family to Canada in 20 days because that's where her roots are. That's where she's from. That's where her family is. That's where she feels like she's most like connected to her root chakra. And that came out of the meditation.
That's huge. That's amazing.
I know. It's pretty powerful. But like she wouldn't have realized that if she hadn't studied this.
Yeah. Dang.
Yeah.
Good job. Good job, Heidi, with your teaching of your chakras.
I'm kind of a big deal. What can I say?
You're such a big deal. Okay, so learning about the chakras is not without its challenges because first of all, it's subtle body stuff. It's not like you can see your chakras and just be like, oh yeah, it's blocked. It's overactive. Like how easy would that be? Right?
If there's like glowed up
a chakra camera, like the aura camera.
You could make one and you'd probably get a lot of money and you'd be like, hey, I can see your chakras. Like
But it has to be real life because otherwise we're not living our yoga and being truthful. Satya.
I'm teasing. I'm not going to do that. Just teasing.
Okay. So learning about your chakras requires patience and self-reflection and a willingness to confront the parts of ourselves that may be out of alignment. Because it's like, dang, do you really want to know?
No, sometimes I don't. Sometimes you wake me, like in our conversations, you'll wake me up to something and I'll be like, rewind. Like, I don't want to know that. I'm not ready. I don't want to have to do anything about it.
Yeah. Once you know that they're out of balance, then it's like you have to try to put them in balance. There's no other way.
I mean, that's like everything, right? Even the other day, we were talking about samskaras, right? Yeah. And you're like, well, now that I know that I have this samskara, like, I kind of need to do something about it, right? I can't just like pretend that I don't know.
Yeah. Self-awareness sometimes is a bitch.
My God, that belongs on a t-shirt. Farron. Dash Farron.
Yep. All right. So we often show up with resistance when we find things within ourselves that we can work on. And that can be tough to push through. But when you push through it, it's so worth it. By aligning our chakras, we can experience greater vitality, creativity, and emotional resilience. we become more attuned to our intuition, deepen our connections with others, and find a sense of purpose that transcends the superficialities of everyday life. As we move through our practice today, I invite you to keep the wisdom of the chakras in your hearts and minds. Allow the energy to flow freely through each of your energy centers, guiding you towards a state of wholeness and well-being. And remember, the journey of self-discovery is ongoing. Embrace it with curiosity, compassion, and an open heart.
Nice. I love that. It's a beautiful Dharma talk. Have you ever taught a Dharma talk on just the chakras in general, but not like a specific chakra?
I have not.
Yeah, no, me either. It would feel very like I've done it in like a obviously like a session on this workshop that I did, this series, but like I don't know, it feels a little funny to me. It's like incomplete, like dangling. It could be cool as like a class series though. Like if you were to sign up for a series, it's like 8 weeks long.
Right. I have led a meditation just on the chakras, but it wasn't like the class. It was just, I don't even know what the class was about, honestly. But aligning the chakras first during a meditation was like the lead in to like some type of alignment Dharma talk. I don't know.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Well, interesting. Just because we have the work done now, and now we just got to do it. Do the thing.
Let's go teach
Send it. So we finished our chat and it's time to get into class and that part where we get to find a phrase to drop the hammer throughout the class at different points to help your students come back to this idea of the chakras in general, right? We want to keep coming back to this Dharma talk that we gave and help them remember what it is that we're practicing. Okay, so can you try to create more open space along your spine to get as long and energetically open as you can? I don't know. Farron, do you have any other ones anymore?
I would, in whichever posture we happen to be in, I would say, can you visualize your chakras in this posture? Like just those energy centers. Like where are they in space right now? Like along your spine. Something like that. Shorter than that, but something like that. Just so that it like
a visualization.
Has them picturing it as they're moving through practice.
You mean you wouldn't say something like, can you visualize these 7 beautiful round ovular orbs circling inside of each other up and down the length of your spine, one on top of the other, with the lovely heart chakra in the center, creating the bridge between the even amounts on either side? No?
I'm so impressed. I would not say that, but that was very good.
I listen to you when you talk. Try some days. We'll see. All right. So we have our thematic through-line phrase or options of phrases. So let's have a chat about how we bring all this alive in the class. What additional things do you think we should hit on? Things like peak poses or specific pranayama or really anything else related to the chakras? What do you think?
I like a specific peak pose doesn't come to mind, but just like coming back to that through line phrase of like maybe your peak pose is just like Siddhasana or what is it?
I know what you're talking about.
Sukhasana, like easy pose.
I have one.
Yeah.
What about Warrior 3? Because a lot of people like don't keep length in their spine in Warrior 3. And if we try to get them to visualize the length of your chakras as they travel along your spine and notice if like your higher up chakras are going higher than the lower ones, can you try and even them out and feel like the crown chakra pressing away from you as your root chakra draws away? Like something like that. Like that.
Okay, I see that.
Do you see it?
Can you visualizing and picturing?
I was just gonna say, can you visualize it?
I see. Yeah. One thing that I'm thinking though, when it comes to that, is there's stuff that I did learn in Eastern Body, Western Mind, where like the chakras are supposed to be, I'm using quote marks, stacked one on top of the other, like vertically. Yes. So when you're taking it into Warrior 3, you're in like a horizontal position. And so then it's
okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. But the reason I'm saying like is supposed to be with quotes or whatever, there's specific developmental markers that happen during our life stages.
Yes.
And like when you think about it, like a baby is like laying down or like maybe on their belly crawling or whatever, and they're not like upright.
That's right. And they're parallel to the ground, not perpendicular.
Yeah. Yeah. So then all of their chakras like come into play when they're actually stacked one on top of the other and vertical, like developmental wise and like inner body, subtle body wise. Like I don't know. I'm not explaining it well, but I can just see it in my head.
No, you are, but it's making me
Makes
think
sense.
about it does, but it's making me think about like what if you challenge them throughout the whole class to try and keep axial extension in every single posture that you're in, leading, and it can be leading even to like a warrior 3, it doesn't matter, but can you still feel that same axial extension to be able to picture how these orbs line up along your spine? And can you see it in Sukhasana when you first start? Can you see it in mountain pose while you're standing here? Can you see it in tree when you're on one foot? Can you still see it though when you challenge yourself and dip your chest toward the ground to become parallel with the earth with your upper body? Can you still find that length though and maintain that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it might like
I like it.
shift the developmentalness of you know what I mean? Like I might shift that image of the right, whatever you want to call it, but
Yeah.
it challenges the brain to have to think about the physicality of it versus just the literalness.
Yeah. Cool. I like it. I like both ways.
You don't have to like it. You could also be like, nope, don't like it. Trash.
No, I like it all. I would never trash anything that you tell me, Heidi.
Oh, you can though. Like I'm not gonna get mad at you or anything. Like it's good to have divergent opinions and still love each other. Like that's cool.
Yes. 'Tis true.
Yeah. What about pranayama? I mean, I'm picturing like almost like a dirga pranayama, like the 3-part breath where you picture, you know, feeling the belly. That's where like your lower chakras are, filling the rib cage. We're getting toward like, or like picture like root as 1, ribs as 2, even though the ribs are a little bit lower. I mean, second chakra's lower, and like your heart as part 3. And like the breath is traveling along or something.
Yeah. And it has to go through your throat chakra. So it's where breath enters. Yeah. It encompasses all of it. I like that. I'm also thinking, I mean, it's like the throwback, and I feel like we say it almost every episode, but Nadi
Nadi
Shodhana.
Shodhana.
It is. Because it's all connected, right? The chakras don't just like stand alone as these little circles within you or little spheres within you. They're connected by the nadis. Like each of the nadis is like
The Ida and the Pingala are going over the Sushumna.
Yeah, so the Sushumna actually connects them straight down in one vertical line, while the Ida and Pingala are like going through each of them as it travels up your body.
I thought you said there's no SH in Sanskrit.
Sushumna, it's probably an S with a dot under it, and we Americanized it and put a SH. But it's not a Chuchumna, like it's not spelled CH.
It's like Susumna or something. Susumna, not Shushum.
Well, it's like Shavasana is spelled Savasana, but it's Sha because it's a S with a dot under it. It's just a different alphabet.
Although, no, it depends who you talk to. I've also heard people say Savasan.
They're wrong.
Are they? Go on Google Translate, like on YouTube speaking Sanskrit. I'm just curious.
When they do leave off the at the end of the word,
yeah,
yes, but it's not Savasan. It would definitely be Shavasana.
Hang on. I'm going to YouTube. Consult the expert. Pronunciation.
Shavasana.
Oh, they say you're right. You're right. There, those other people are right.
Yeah.
Shavasana. That's how they said it. Interesting. Yeah. Learn something new every day. Woo.
But there is like something in Sanskrit grammatically where you do leave off the final A. So like all the postures can become like it ends with an N instead of an A.
Depending what you like want it to be.
Sukhasana.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't remember why.
I don't know. I've heard like Americans ruin it, but we'll have to figure it out.
Yoga teachers, if this conversation inspired you to teach a class on the chakras with our little suggestions, then please download our pretty inspo sheet found at themeweaversyoga.com/episode 31, where we list out all additional inspiration related to the chakras for you to help take your class on this theme to the next level. On that sheet, we include some inspirational quotes, some songs that bring the theme to life, as well as mantras, mudras, specific pranayama. Hopefully we can find another one other than Nadi Shodhana, our favorite.
I know we use that a lot. It's a good one.
Some postures and meditation to weave into your class.
All right. So then as we conclude our practice today, I might say, as we're getting ready to sit on up and end our class and get ready to walk through our day, this knowledge of the chakras, that we have these energetic centers within us that sometimes are in alignment and balance and sometimes can be a little out of whack in one way or the other. Like, we get to use this as a system to study ourselves and choose where we want to put in our efforts and our work. And we can do that on our mat like we've just done for the last hour, or we can choose to keep walking this yogic path and exploring our own chakras and getting curious about where we land. And if you like this, come back next week at class where we do it again, but on chakra 1, right? Like, I might say something like that. And, just keep this in your heart as you're trying to figure out who you are and what has the most meaning for you and what you want to keep and what you might want to shift to help you live a better life and more alignment and peace.
Love it.
Request the inspo sheet for the chakras to help bring this theme alive in your own voice and your own practice and teaching. And if you're like me, maybe you have to close your eyes when you're actually doing it so you can really get in alignment with what you want to be able to say. I have to do that. Then please reach out to us on Facebook, Instagram, email, all the things. Let us know how this lands. We're here to support you, fellow yoga teacher, in your class preparation and delivery. So let us know how we can be of the most support. All right, tune in next week for another episode of Theme Weavers, where we will help you feel prepared to go on and inspire your students in your next class.
If you're unsure on the structure of how to weave a theme throughout your class, feel free to go back to episode 2 of season 1, Why Weave? The Importance of Threading Intention into Your Yoga for background and inspiration.
Ready? Until next time,
we weave you in peace.